Thank you for joining me on Stop 17 of our historic tour through Nevada County. Not all history in Nevada County happened in the 19th century, and today we're going to learn of a figure of more contemporary times in our history, Utah Phillips. Did you know that Hospitality House, a nonprofit organization in Grass Valley, is named after Utah Phillips? Bruce Phillips, known as Utah, was born in Cleveland, Ohio in 1935 to Edwin Phillips and Frances Coates, who were both labor organizers. However, his mother divorced his father when Phillips was around 5 years old. His new stepfather, Sid Cohen, helped run vaudeville theaters, which led the family to Salt Lake City, Utah in 1947. Phillips' high school days were focused on the arts and plays, where he met fellow folk musician Rosalie Sorrells. Once he graduated, he started working at Yellowstone National Park, where he became interested in the international workers of the world and learned to play the guitar. His birth father had also been a card-carrying member of the organization. Phillips joined the United States Army in 1956, and he was stationed in post-war Korea. His experiences there influenced his later life decisions into becoming a pacifist and joining the international workers of the world. Phillips was discharged from the military in 1959, where he then started writing and learning songs while riding the railroads. Later that year, he returned to Salt Lake City. Back in Salt Lake City, Phillips met with Ammon Hennessy, who recruited him to help establish the Joe Hill House. Ammon Hennessy helped to shape Phillips into who he was. Phillips worked at the Joe Hill House for 8 years helping the homeless. When the Joe Hill House was forced to close in 1968, Phillips ran for the U.S. Senate for the Peace and Freedom Party, securing over 2,019 votes. He lost the election and also his job in the Utah State Archives. This led him to start his career in folk music. In this stop, we will discuss the musical career of Utah Phillips and his efforts within Nevada County.
In 1969, Bruce Phillips adopted the nickname Utah Phillips from the state he grew up in and in the same vein of country star T. Texas Tyler. With the change in name, Phillips rode the rails to Saratoga Springs, New York. In Saratoga Springs, he performed at Cafe Lena and was adopted into the coffeehouse's folk music community. Phillips began to travel to many festivals and cafes to perform his music throughout the 70s. At some of these venues, he would perform with his good friend and fellow folk musician Rosalie Sorrells. When not traveling, he recorded 4 albums with the folk music record label Philo from 1973 to 1983, when the label was bought out by Rounder Records. In 1976, Bruce Utah Phillips ran for President of the United States for the Do Nothing Party. Many musicians were influenced by his musical storytelling, but he never wanted to commercialize folk music, where he even declined a licensing request from Johnny Cash. In the 1980s, Phillips moved to Nevada City, California, where he married his wife Joanna Robinson. Phillips was a member in many organizations, such as the International Workers of the World, the International Union of Mine, Mill, and Smelter Workers, and Veterans for Peace, which led him to join in activism within the community with the Peace and Justice Center of Nevada County. In the 1990s, musician Ani DeFranco collaborated with Phillips for 2 albums, The Past Didn't Go Anywhere and Fellow Workers. His work with DeFranco gave him a nomination for a Grammy. From 1997 to 2001, Phillips had a radio show on local station KVMR 89.5 FM called The Loafer's Glory. The show went on for 100 episodes, became nationally syndicated, and can still be listened to from thelongmemory.com. In 2003, Phillips, his wife, and 40 other Nevada County residents were arrested for protesting against the start of the Iraq War in one of the largest protests in the county at the time. In 2004, he and his wife helped to establish the Hospitality House in Nevada County, with many other residents. The shelter was inspired by the Joe Hill House that Phillips' friend Ammon Hennessy had founded in Salt Lake City during the 1960s. Phillips continued performing and his activism until 2007 due to illness. Bruce Utah Phillips passed away in 2008 at the age of 73.
Our story of Utah Phillips has come to an end. You can listen to the wisdom of Utah Phillips' Loafer's Glory from longmemory.com. Visit our other history stops at nevadacountymedia.org for a map of other historical stops through Nevada County. And remember, folks, please come visit us in this beautiful place that we are fortunate enough to call our home, Nevada County.